Hello, and a warm welcome to World This Week by latestlaws.com. This is a weekly program, so hit the bell icon to get notifications for new videos. I will be taking you through the significant orders and judgments passed by various courts in the country and some important international news from this week. Let's begin with the Supreme Court this week. The Supreme Court has ordered a complete prohibition on mining operations within all national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and a 1-kilometer buffer zone surrounding them, thereby extending an earlier restriction applicable only to Goa to the entire country. A bench comprising Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai and Justice K. Vinod Chandran delivered the directive while hearing the long-pending T.N. Godavarman Thirumulpad case in connection with applications seeking the declaration of the Saranda Forest region in Jharkhand as a wildlife sanctuary. The Supreme Court set aside the orders of the lower courts that had permitted the counterclaim. It ruled that a counterclaim cannot be filed by one defendant against another co-defendant, and that such a claim, being time-barred and procedurally defective, was unsustainable in law. However, the parties were permitted to continue with the main proceedings before the trial court on all other issues except the rejected counterclaim. The Supreme Court directed the immediate release of Delhi-based advocate Vikram Singh, who had been arrested by the Gurugram Police's Special Task Force (STF) in connection with a murder case. The court ordered that the advocate be released forthwith upon furnishing a bail bond of 10,000 rupees and listed the matter for further consideration. It also instructed the Registrar Judicial to ensure immediate communication of the order to the Commissioner of Police Gurugram for compliance without delay. The Supreme Court Bar Association has filed a writ petition before the Supreme Court, seeking urgent intervention and framing of national guidelines to protect women's dignity and privacy at workplaces and educational institutions. The plea follows shocking reports that women sanitation workers at Maharshi Dayanand University, Haryana, were allegedly subjected to humiliating menstrual checks by their supervisors. The SCBA has urged the Apex Court to evolve binding menstrual dignity guidelines, similar to the Vishaka guidelines, to protect women's rights during menstruation and related gynecological conditions. It further seeks the introduction of mandatory workplace protocols, awareness drives, and institutional mechanisms to prevent such violations in the future. Now, let's get an overview of the High Courts. The Calcutta High Court delivered a landmark ruling, disqualifying senior politician Mukul Roy from the West Bengal Legislative Assembly, holding that his post-election switch from the BJP to the Trinamool Congress violated the Anti-Defection Law. Mukul Roy was elected to the West Bengal Assembly in May 2021 on a Bharatiya Janata Party BJP ticket. However, in August the same year, he joined the ruling Trinamool Congress (TMC) in the presence of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and TMC National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee. Following this, leader of opposition Suvendu Adhikari and BJP MLA Ambika Roy filed petitions seeking his disqualification under the Anti-Defection Law. The Bombay High Court dismissed a public interest litigation (PIL) that sought mandatory audio-video recording of proceedings before the Maharashtra Electricity Regulatory Commission (MERC), observing that such recordings cannot be treated as admissible evidence in any court of law. A division bench comprising Chief Justice Sri Chandrasekhar and Justice Gautam Ankhad noted that the law already prohibits recording of court or tribunal proceedings. The bench underscored that the Supreme Court has repeatedly held that the principle of open and public trials ensures transparency and public confidence in the justice system. But those observations do not imply that proceedings may be recorded and produced as evidence elsewhere. The Kerala High Court upheld the acquittal of an accused in a cheque dishonor case under Section 138 of the Negotiable Instruments Act 1881. Ruling that the accused had successfully rebutted the statutory presumption under Sections 118 and 139 of the Act. The court observed that mere admission of signature on a cheque does not automatically prove a legally enforceable debt or liability. The bench emphasized that once the accused raises a probable defense supported by credible circumstances, the burden shifts back to the complainant to establish the existence of consideration and financial capacity. The Chhattisgarh High Court has come down heavily on trial courts across the state for granting prolonged adjournments, particularly in cases where the accused remain in judicial custody. The court termed this practice a direct infringement of the fundamental right to a speedy trial guaranteed under the Constitution, and directed all subordinate courts to adopt a stricter approach toward unnecessary delays in proceedings. In the end, we have miscellaneous news. The Anti-Corruption Bureau (ACB) in Mumbai uncovered a startling case of alleged judicial corruption, arresting a civil court clerk for accepting a 15 lakh rupee bribe purportedly on behalf of an additional sessions judge in exchange for a favorable order in a land dispute. The judge, Ijazuddin Salauddin Qazi, has been named as a wanted accused, a rare instance of a sitting judicial officer being booked under the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988.
Thank you for watching and have a nice day. This is a weekly program, and to get more information, please check the description box for weekly updates. Like and subscribe to our channel.